Hello and welcome to day 107 of 365 days of Facebook Live. I still cannot believe that we are in the hundreds. Still kind of like blows my mind for whatever reason. It's been 7 days in it, but it still does. So welcome. If you are new here and you do not know who I am, my name is Jessica Lozano. I am a women's relationship and feminine embodiment mentor, and I guide women who are single or in their sacred union relationship, have extraordinary love lives, to expand themselves as a woman, to really be the full totality of their own inner sacred union, to be in their feminine embodiment with themselves and with their man, and really see the fruition of that in their relationships and also how they carry themselves in the world. So today, what we're going to talk about is about vicious loops cycles when you are manifesting love, when you're wanting to call in the love of your life, you wrote out all the things that you want, you are working on yourself, you're doing the things, and incoming these thoughts that are telling you you can't have it. Who are you to think like that? Why do you think you can have that? Do you remember what happened this time? Well, it's never gonna happen. You're too old. Who's gonna want you? All of these like just negative thoughts that just come on in and they really wanna like ruin the show, right? They want to ruin the show of what you are desiring and what you are wanting to call in. This happens anytime that we are wanting to expand and we're really desiring something big. Usually something big that we deeply, deeply care and want. So it goes beyond just manifesting love, but it goes into any aspect of your life. When you're manifesting more money, when you're manifesting something better for you and your partner, or like whatever it is, right? Like this incoming thoughts are always gonna get there. So the first thing to understand is that it's gonna happen. Like your thoughts, these negative thoughts are there to try to protect you, because whenever we are expanding, it's like the lizard brain or survival brain starts to think incoming danger. You know, like we need to survive, and it tries to keep you somewhat protected, right? Or you can also think of it maybe as ego, or ego wants to protect us, or not protect us. It wants to keep us small and to expand anymore. So it's good to know and to understand this about you so that you're not feeling negative about yourself, that you're not feeling what's wrong with me. Why does this always happen? And then continue to feed more into those thoughts that are coming in. I have found with myself and with my clients that the sooner we begin to accept that we live in this world of polarity, we live in this world of, well, I'm also going to feel some negative things. I'm also going to have negative experiences. I'm also going to have negative emotions and sensations that come up equal as I experience love and joy and expansion and gratitude and breakthroughs and aliveness. You're gonna have both. So when we can accept that as part of the human experience and that there's nothing wrong with you, it's gonna be a lot easier for you to navigate yourself when you are living in the world and when you're wanting to expand. When you're wanting to expand. Because anytime we are expanding, there's a part of us that fears that expansion because it's the unknown. It's the unknown. So we want to learn how to navigate these. And I have 3 things for you in order to help you navigate this. So that when you are calling in the love of your life, when you're wanting change in your relationship, when you're wanting anything else in your life, more money, better career, all the things, you know what to do. So the first thing I want to talk about is force versus cracking open. So what we tend to do is when these negative thoughts come in, is we tend to go, I don't want that, slap on an affirmation. I don't want that, slap on an affirmation, right? Whatever that affirmation is. So then we start to like force and fight against this thought. and it's almost like you're trying to push against something that's pushing back against you, right? It's kind of like this, like if you can imagine two people pushing against each other, like, and then one wins a little bit and then the one goes back even further, right? Like it's this like push versus like a tug of war. It's more like two people opposing forces against each other, right? That's what's happening when you're applying force, right? When you're applying force and you're like trying to fix my hair. I'm trying like some different hairdos because I'm so tired of just having my hair straight down. So I think that looks better. So you're applying force to each other. That's what's happening in your mind. And you're just like force. Like, no, I don't want to feel like that. I want to feel like this. And like, yes, I can deserve this. I deserve this. I deserve this. And then it's like, there's other thoughts like, no, you can't have this. Who dare you to think all these things? If you haven't had it now, you'll never have it, right? So it's like, boom, boom, back and forth. And that is exhausting. Like if you can think of two people physically doing that all day, wrestlers doing that all day, it is exhausting. And it's the same thing that that's happening in your mind, which then physically you feel exhausted, right? Mental exhaustion is a real thing. And that is what happens when you are in this force place where you're trying to fight against your negative thoughts. When you're trying to fight against negative beliefs, when you're trying to fight against all these incoming words, things, memories that are coming to you. And usually what happens when that happens, we get exhausted or we give up. We're like, hey, fuck it, this isn't for us, forget it. And then you just continue doing the things you're doing that's continuing giving you the same results. And then maybe a few months from now, after you got your heart broken from meeting the same type of guy or getting back with the old guy, realizing that's not what you really wanted. You are fired up and you feel like you deserved better. And then you do the whole, like, this is what I want. And remember, you pull it out of your drawer, you read the thing and you're like, this is what I really want. And you're feeling good for a few days. And then boom, here comes the same exact thing. Same exact thoughts, same exact beliefs, same exact sensation and emotions in your body. And then you try to fight against it again and again. And you're fighting. And then you're exhausted and you're like, fuck this isn't for me. And then you give up. And then you keep repeating the same cycles over and over again. So forcing it is not what I suggest. It's exhausting. And it kind of makes you feel a little defeated. You know? You kind of feel like a little defeated. I'm gonna take a sip of... By the way, I ordered a new chair. So all this cracking that you hear when I move, it's not going to, and it's the color that I want. And I'm so excited to have it delivered. So, oh, that's so good. It's a self-love tea. Okay, so what do you do instead? How do you manage these thoughts? You open up your heart to them and you lean into it and you crack your heart open into it. You're expanding into it. So this thought comes in, who are you? You're not good enough to have this kind of relationship. Like you're never going to be good enough. You haven't been good enough, you never will be good enough. Let's say that's what comes through. And instead of saying, how dare you, and fight against it, or no, that's not true, these types of things, or whatever it is, whatever other affirmation, like, no, I am worthy, but you're not really feeling that. And you're really fighting against, or you try to visualize the partner, and then this thought's still there. So that's the force, right? We don't want to do that. You don't want to do that. What you want to do instead is crack your heart open and lean into those sensations that you're feeling. Lean into and open up, like instead of resisting against it, open. There's the movie called Divergent. It was on Netflix. I'm not sure if it's on there anymore, but I'm sure you can buy it for very super cheap for $5 somewhere. In Divergent, there was a part where she has to go into a simulation to beat the 4 different levels of the different whatever you call it. But when she beats the last one, it like opens up the code to this box that everyone wants to know what's inside this box, right? Because that's what's been really hidden for many years. So we want to find out. So in this movie, at the very end, she's fighting against herself, right? And the first time she went in, she tried to physically fight her, and I think she lost. The second time that she goes into it, as she's seeing herself and this part of her that she has learned to hate and not like, the part of her that's speaking all these negative thoughts, that's saying that you can't have this, who are you, and just saying all the horrible things. This time, she decides to open up herself and decide that this isn't her. And she decides that I'm going to open up to this part of me versus fight against her. And then what happens in this movie, her old self with all this anger starts charging to her, and she stands there open, like she closes her eyes, I believe, and she's just like so surrendered to her. She cracked herself open to that part of her, like, I no longer fear you, or I no longer, like, that's not me, right? And she just opens herself up, and then it charges to her, and it like goes through her, and then something else happens, like she wins. Like some other beautiful, I think, scene happens, and then it really opens up. So that is a beautiful example of cracking open. When you crack open, you unlock the code to your truth versus fighting against it. You crack open your code to fighting the truth versus fighting against it. So it looks like all these thoughts, and instead of in your mind fighting against it, or like, why is this happening again? You close your eyes if you can. If not, if you're driving or you're doing something, and you notice the sensations in your body, and notice where where you're holding on to, whether your shoulders get lifted or where you feel a constriction against here, whether you feel tightness in your chest, in your eyes. Like for me, I usually feel it like really heavy in my eyes. My eyes get extremely heavy, and I feel a lot of tension in my head. And of course, this happens in my heart. So for me, where I notice where I put most of the attention on, because I feel like when I put my attention on this part, it really opens up every other part, which would make sense. And I focus on my heart, and I open up my heart, and that starts to numb, to dethaw, to loosen up the other areas of myself that's really tight. So you crack your heart open into it, like you put your attention on your heart, and you're opening it and opening it and opening it and opening it. And you're leaning open to it. And you're like, I see you. I see you. That's what you're saying. I see you, thoughts. And I know you feel this way. And this no longer serves me. And I'm going to release you with love. I'm going to release you with love. I'm not going to fight you. I'm not going to push against you. I'm not going to try to prove to you why you're wrong. I'm going to see you. I'm just going to allow you to move past me. Because I know once I do that, I'm going to unlock the next code to my truth, to my expansion. And I'm going to feel in my body what you're feeling, because I know when I feel it, I'm moving the energy around so I can calibrate to the newer version of me. I'm gonna crack open to you. Do you feel how light that is versus when you're fighting against yourself? Do you feel the difference? Let me know in the comments. So that's one thing that you can do. The next thing, got a call. The next thing that you can do. So step one is don't force it. Don't try to fight against it. Instead, crack open and surrender into it. The second part is bringing yourself back to neutral. So in our day-to-day life, we have our neutral, like you feel good. Then you have like the negative. So let's say neutral 0. Then you have the negative parts where it's like negative emotions and if negative feelings, negative thoughts, like I'm just not feeling well today, just like whatever, like those types of energies are down here. And of course, the lower and lower you get, the deeper and deeper it gets. And then you have your positive, which is more like feeling good, feeling expansive, feeling all the amazing, beautiful things, miracles, potentiality, possibility, fun, laughter. I can do this. I believe in myself, right? All of the courage, everything up here. So when we're manifesting, we're calling something in, or you're feeling good, and the one day you feel that lack of, for whatever reason, you go down into a negative, right? You go down into a negative. And then sometimes it happens without us even knowing, and you keep going down lower and lower and lower. This is where, which is kind of like what I said in the first one, we're trying to force against what you're feeling when you're in the negative, and you try to jump all the way up here into the positive, into all these great emotions, deep gratitude, like sincere, genuine gratitude, happiness, and all these things. So we can't go from here up to here most of the time. Most of the time that doesn't happen. You have to work your way back up to neutral, hold neutral, and then you can start working on your positive manifestations, feeling good, all the things up here. Why is this important? Because a lot of us try to use affirmations or try to use visualization and all of those things, and then it doesn't work. Then you get frustrated. Then you start to feel like, ugh, why is this not working for me? Why isn't my lover coming into my life? Why am I still having the same fights in my relationship? Why this? Why that? And you stay stuck in the negative, right? Trying to slap on an affirmation or trying to slap on gratitude practices and all of those types of things when you really just need to get yourself back to neutral, which is just like the better thinking thought, as like Abraham Hicks says, right? He always says, just find the better thinking thought, right? So all these like insidious thoughts that come in, you just have to find a thought that feels a little bit less resistance. Like, okay, I hear that you feel that, but we're working to make ourselves feel better. I hear that you're feeling like that, but I'm working on myself to feel more accepting of myself, right? It just loosens up the tension a little bit. And then once you feel you're a little bit here, a little bit better there, then you go on and you bring yourself into another thought. Usually for me, it's, I am okay. I am uncomfortable, but I am okay. I am uncomfortable, but I am okay. That affirmation there for me, I say that mostly all the time whenever I'm feeling in this place. And it takes me from here and it brings me back up to this place, to neutral. And once I can hold the neutral, right? Because manifestation is about how much you can hold what you're really desiring and not drop down into your old patterns. When you can hold the neutral, when you feel good in the neutral, then you do all the positive affirmations, the gratitude, I feel good, the visualization, and all the things if that feels right for you. Or perhaps it's just continuing to move forward. There's lots of different ways that we can do that. So, surrendering yourself into this can bring you up to neutral as well. Sometimes we have to repeat an affirmation that feels good, that feels like it brings you to a place of neutral in order for you to get from here to here, hold the here, and then go up. Then go up. Visualizing the love of your life, visualizing the happily ever after relationship, visualizing, how you want to feel, holding yourself, your partner holding you, all the things, like you're holding it up there once you can hold neutral. Like if you can hold neutral and not get down here, that's pretty good. A lot of people can't even hold neutral. They live down in this like really downward spiral thoughts. So if these two things don't work, got my third one for you. If these two things do not work, then you got to move it out of your body. It's really very heavily stuck in your body. That this is where an alchemization practice would be the best. This is where you put on some music that matches the energy that you're feeling, that matches what you want to express in your body, And you go into that practice with the intention of, I want to alchemize, and you say an intention, you say a prayer, you invite your goddesses, God, the mother creatrix, your higher self. I want to feel clarity. I want to feel acceptance. I want to feel enough. I just want to feel better after this session. I just want to feel my mind is in neutral, whatever it is. But you got to set an intention, because that's part of that alchemical process. You can't just start moving your body and then have no direction of where to go. You have to give it some point of focus. So you go into your alchemical practice, you put the music on, especially as women, I cannot tell you how healing this is, and you start to unapologetically express your body through movement, through dance, through shaking, through kicking, through pounding, through vocalization and using your voice and spreading that out, through moving wildly, through moving sensually, through moving all of the things. This is one of the most powerful practices ever. I have this inside of my masterclass called Elevated Women Masterclass. One of my dear friends who joined it, she said, I have been doing, more friends in high school, but she was like, I have been doing this like every day. I've been dancing. She's like, that masterclass, I felt like you were talking to me, Jessica. Like, seriously, I felt like you were straight talking to me. And I feel so amazing. That is the power of dance. And I know that it can sound like, okay, whatever, I'm just gonna dance. Like, I just usually dance at the nightclub, or I usually, have to have some kind of choreography. But no, there's more to dance than that. This is an ancient feminine practice. And it is so liberating. And it will take everything that's in here, bringing it down into your body, moving it through, vocalizing all the things, and it transmutes it. And after you're done, you're gonna feel so much better. You will have immediate insight of what to do, or you'll know, okay, I feel a lot better. Now I'm just gonna try to hold this neutral feeling, and I'm going to focus on something else. I'm gonna keep moving forward. Or maybe a little bit later on around the day, another insight comes through, or you just start to feel your heart expanded. And that's enough. That's what you want to feel when you are in this place of really wanting to draw in what you desire. That heart open energy, because that is going to be that receptive energy. That's when you're going to get the guidance of what to do, get the guidance on what to say to your lover, get the guidance on what area you need to heal next, get the guidance on what next program, coach, whatever you need to do next to help you with this love life thing. That's where all the answers come, when you are in this open, heart-centered place, available for the next step, available for the love to come in, available for inspiration to come in. Like, oh, go to that coffee shop over there. Go to, call your girlfriends and go do a dinner, because, who knows what's going to happen. You really don't know what each inspirational thought is going to bring, what intuitive action is going to bring, and how that draws you in closer to the love of your life, or to creating more harmony in your relationship. You just don't know. So following these intuitive pulses, these intuitions, once you get into that place of neutral or expandedness versus fighting these thoughts, do not fight the thoughts. You're just going to get beat up. Literally, you're gonna get beat up. My client said to me, she's like, I'm like beat up. Like, I had to take 2 naps because I have just been I've been fighting against these thoughts, these insidious thoughts that just keep coming in about this. And these are the exact same things that I told her that I'm telling you. So follow these. You're gonna feel so much better. You're gonna feel so much lighter. You're gonna feel so much more whole as a woman. And you're gonna be that much closer to the love that you want in your life. So that's it for today. I have something free coming soon, so I'm really excited to share that about it when that's ready to be revealed. And I do have spots available for my one-on-one mentorship. So if you are a spiritual woman who is healing from toxic and narcissistic relationships, and you want to become the woman who is worshipped by her king, who can hold that sacred union relationship, who is in that frequency of sacred union relationship, message me and we can talk more about what this looks like. All right, so I hope you have a beautiful day and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.